Yeah, baby, SmackDown 9/11/2018 booked, played out, and we're about to talk about it. But before we get to SmackDown, I just want to address the question that everybody is asking me. BC, what are your thoughts on possibly the entire Evolution match card getting leaked 7 weeks before the event actually takes place? That's right, guys. The big news going around is this photo that was taken in the past 24 hours of the entire match card leaked through WWE headquarters, and it's got the entire 14 segment, right? 12 matches, 2 segments, something like that. 14 segments in all. Is it real? Is it fake? What does this mean if it's real? What does it mean if it's fucking fake? What are my thoughts, right? Trust me when I say I have a huge response to this. I have a plethora of thoughts going through my head. I'm ready to explode, implode, get amplified. But not right now. See, there's a certain video coming out tomorrow on this channel I like to call Amplified Q&A. What better time to address something huge, and this is one of the biggest questions that's being asked of me right now. What better time than to open tomorrow's show up with that question? The whole opening monologue, the whole opening promo that I usually do on Thursday's Amplified Q&A, I am going to dedicate to that topic. We're going to run down that card if it's legit, and I am going to get amplified on every motherfucking match and or segment. And we're going to talk the validity of it. If it possibly is real. If it is a possibility that it's just a fake. I'm going to give you facts. And we're going to get amplified on this motherfucking thing, I can assure you, because I have a lot to say. So tune in tomorrow, Amplified Q&A. The beginning of that video will be dedicated to that question. And then afterwards, depending on how much time is left, I'm going to get to as many questions of your guys as I possibly can. So any questions you have for me, jot them down below in the comment section. I'll try to get to as many as I can for tomorrow. Again, you guys know the deal. I can't get to all of them. I do about an hour video usually on these, and after a half an hour, I'm already running out of my voice. I'm already fucking down and out. But even me, even the amplified man running on fumes, is still fucking 100% better than anybody else on this motherfucking platform. I can assure you of that. So tune in tomorrow, guys. We're going to talk all about the Evolution match card possibly being leaked. Now that business is out of the way, let's get to the real business at hand for today, and that is SmackDown, man. If you guys saw yesterday's video, my Monday Night Raw review and reaction, you guys know I went a little ballistic. I got a little extra amplified, and that is because Monday Night Raw went from just confusing as fuck last week to just nonsensical bullshit this week. And I was not going to give them a mulligan. I was not going to let them just skate by scot-free and not be held accountable for the bullshit product that they gave us on their go-home show to Hell in a Cell. This is Hell in a Cell coming up this Sunday. This is the real start of the Halloween season for the Amplified Man, and you guys know the Amplified Man loves the Halloween season. Shit, I spent half of the Halloween season down in Orlando at Halloween Horror Nights for a fucking reason, because I love this shit. Hell in a Cell is supposed to be one huge event that helps bring to life that Halloween feel, Halloween season. And this year, I don't know if it's really captivating me because Monday Night Raw has been absolutely putting us to sleep much more than any NyQuil could ever possibly do. No sleeping pill on earth can combat the effects of Monday Night Raw. No sleeping pill on earth can come close to what Monday Night Raw can do. In a short amount of time, wham, in one match they could put you to sleep if they wanted to. So this was the go-home show for SmackDown. Could SmackDown possibly deliver a better product than Monday Night Raw? For SmackDown to put on any worse of a product than Monday Night Raw, that would be when we all collectively would have to find the nearest cement wall and dive headfirst through that motherfucker. And if we're lucky, we don't make it out the other side. So not only did SmackDown Live not do worse than Monday Night Raw, it did a shit ton better than Monday Night Raw. Epic? Definitely not. Really good? Maybe not. Good? I'm gonna give them that. And I'll explain. I'll explain exactly why. I want to start off right from the beginning, though, if you don't mind. And this was a 9/11 tribute. Obviously 9/11, 2000 and, what was it, 17 fucking years ago, right? 2001, I want to say. Was the fucking World Trade attacks, and WWE SmackDown. If you guys remember back to that, SmackDown was one of the first real events to the old mantra, the show must go on. SmackDown was one of the first events to really put on their show right after 9/11. And it was a huge emotional feel. I'll never forget that, guys. I was a fucking teenager, obviously, at the time. But I'll never forget fucking the feeling in that arena when SmackDown went live. That it was just fucking... you can't recreate it. It's a fucking goosebumps moment. So just to have 9/11 fall on a Tuesday again, and SmackDown is back on Tuesdays, and to hear that 11 bell salute, it was a goosebumps moment, man. It was real fucking emotional, definitely. Unfortunately, that carried over with the crowd. It didn't seem like the crowd was that alive before the announcement of the 11 bell salute anyway, and then after the 11 bell salute, the crowd was dead as fuck. And Jeff Hardy comes to the ring, and while Jeff Hardy is delivering a promo to Randy Orton and what he's going to do to Orton Sunday at Hell in a Cell, you could literally hear a pin drop. That's how quiet it was in that arena. And Shinsuke Nakamura comes down to the ring, thankfully, to save the day, and we get a Jeff Hardy-Shinsuke Nakamura match. I wasn't fully invested into this match. I understand it's two great performers. Their chemistry... I don't feel in their whole feud, their chemistry really never clicked like I thought it was going to. But on top of that last night, it wasn't jiving with me. The crowd was disengaged, and that made me disengage with the match that I was viewing. But on top of that, I didn't feel it was their best work anyway. This match ended when Randy Orton interfered and pushed Jeff Hardy from the top rope, and Jeff Hardy basically did the splits on the top rope, right? Any fucking dude will know that'll fucking hurt you. And Jeff Hardy's pretty much down and out. Randy Orton gets the upper hand on Jeff Hardy. Shinsuke kind of just rolls out, and Randy Orton's got the upper hand on Jeff Hardy, but only for a moment. Jeff Hardy ends up overtaking Randy Orton, and when this segment is done, Jeff Hardy's music is playing, and Jeff Hardy is celebrating not just his victory, DQ victory, but he's celebrating making Randy Orton look like a fool. So Orton comes out to look like a badass and interfere in Hardy's match with Shinsuke, but a minute later, Jeff Hardy's the one who gets the last laugh. If that's the case, guys, I would have rather not seen any contact between the two until Sunday. We've already seen all we need contact-wise with these two in the last couple of months anyway. What more do we need to see last night? Randy Orton just looked like a fucking clown last night, so all of this good heel work that Randy Orton was doing was just fucking ruined last night. And then you go into Sunday, and now what more do we need to see? That's my question for you guys. We don't need to see anything else now. Usually you tune in, you want to see the match, you want to see your hero get the last laugh, your hero get the revenge, your hero standing tall when it's all said and done after this long feud. But we just got that last night. So even the casual fan, the diehard Jeff Hardy fan, what are they tuning in for now, right? We're all tuning in, obviously, to see the big spot that Jeff Hardy's gonna do. Will he do a swanton bomb from the top of the fucking cell? Who the fuck knows? But are you really watching now to see Jeff Hardy get ultimate revenge? No, we just saw him celebrating, music playing, and making Randy Orton look like a clown last night. I hope you guys are understanding that it's the little details, at least for the Amplified Man, that create the whole story. The little details help make the story epic or make a story fail. DOA, dead on arrival. A story can be dead if there's no fucking real detail behind it. If you put immense detail behind it, the story will thrive. I no longer need to see that now unless they just plan Randy Orton beating Jeff Hardy 1, 2, 3, and maybe that's why they wanted Jeff Hardy to look strong last night. I would have went about it much differently no matter who they have winning this Sunday. I wouldn't have had any contact, but I would have had mind games by Randy Orton for sure. And Shinsuke Nakamura pick up a fucking victory maybe over Hardy. Who the fuck knows? What I do know is Nakamura is your United States champion, and I gotta be honest with you guys, half the time I forget he's even a champion. I forget about that championship strap, and I forget about Shinsuke Nakamura. That tells you how they're booking that motherfucker as well. But that's the real bad that I have in this show. That was it. And it's not over the top bad. It's just I would have done things much differently. The crowd was absolutely dead. And I don't think it was the best performance between Nakamura and Hardy. And the booking in that match was obviously fucking trash, at least in my opinion. So not over the top bad, but definitely not good. But that was it as far as negativity, because then we went into AJ Styles' promo that he cut on Samoa Joe. And I love this. This was an empty arena promo, almost like we saw last week with The Miz, but that was more in a comedic way. That was to show that I'm a coward and I'm not going to say this to your face. I'm going to say this in an empty arena, Daniel Bryan, and I'm going to call you out knowing that you're not here. So it was more of a farce than anything, a facade. But this was AJ Styles. It looked like a man who was just collecting his thoughts in a nice fucking, or huge, quiet fucking place. An empty arena. Not a fucking soul in that entire arena but AJ Styles on the steps. And he's looking into that camera and he is giving a heart-to-camera fucking promo for the ages, I think, for AJ Styles. He was so sincere, and again, it's easier to do when there's not a fucking crowd of 10,000 people in front of you, but he gave a sincere promo to Samoa Joe, and he made sure that Samoa Joe knows that I was gonna keep this professional. You went out and made this personal, and now that's exactly what you're gonna get at Hell in a Cell. I love this promo. The only thing better than that promo last night with AJ Styles to Samoa Joe was Samoa Joe's promo to AJ Styles. Because Samoa Joe had a bedtime story for AJ Styles. It was more toward Wendy and AJ's family, actually. And it's Samoa Joe in this nice dark location, and he's looking into the camera, and he's giving a bedtime story called Night Night, AJ. And he's opening up the book, and it's literally pages with the fucking writing. It's got pictures, and the camera's going in, and we start to cut to clips, actual clips, but it's done in a cartoon fashion, like it's in the book, like the old school Winnie the Poohs or some shit. Remember those books? And you have the caricatures, and you got fucking, and they come to life in the cartoon. That's basically what was happening last night. I love this fucking story time with Samoa Joe. I'll take a story time every other week if you want to give it to me. Samoa Joe telling his story time. You need that for Monday Night Raw, man. While Raw is putting you to sleep, Samoa Joe could just be telling you a fucking story. Hey? But this book ends with Samoa Joe not only standing tall over AJ Styles, once the king, and now Samoa Joe is now the king is the story. But now Samoa Joe is also going to be the new daddy of little Annie, or whatever the fuck AJ Styles' kids' names are. But they mentioned fucking Annie, is that her fucking name? And Wendy, you're gonna have a new fucking husband. That's the way the story ends. The old king, out with him. The new king is gonna be in. The new daddy is gonna be in. The old daddy is out. I love story time with Samoa Joe for sure. Night Night AJ. Look for that in Barnes & Noble soon, because I'm buying that shit. That's a good story. I love that promo, man. AJ Styles did a good promo. Samoa Joe cut a good promo. And I think that's the perfect way to build this story and feud for Hell in a Cell. Because we've already seen them come to blows. We've already seen a match between the two on the main roster. Now we need to see just the Hell in a Cell match in its conclusion. We don't need to see any more combat. We don't need to see them come to blows. We don't need to see any attacks. Hell in a Cell, that's where we should settle this motherfucking thing. I don't even want to see this in Melbourne, Australia. I don't want to see this in Survivor Series with AJ with a team and Samoa with a G. This is where, Hell in a Cell is where rivalries have to end. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, for sure. But AJ Styles and Samoa Joe is a definite. And that's the way to do it, man. Make it more personal. but keep them away from each other. I love that shit. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton could have used a page from that book, from Samoa Joe's book. Stay away from each other, no combat, because at this point, it's only going to make you look more foolish. So I like the AJ Styles and Samoa Joe keeping them separate, giving promos, and they were heartfelt, they were sincere. Beautifully done. Now the first hour ended with Charlotte Flair taking on Sonya Deville. Call me crazy, because I am, but I liked this match. I don't know what it was. I liked the pacing of it. This is the best I've ever seen Sonya Deville, and you guys know I haven't been too high on Sonya Deville for many reasons. She, up to this point, didn't deserve my utmost respect, to be honest with you. And I respect every performer that goes out there and tries to entertain me. Trust me. But Sonya Deville, in a division of a lot of great talent that's being held down, and a lot of great women that are not even in the main roster or in NXT, can't even get in the WWE door, and here's Sonya Deville taking up a spot. So no, I was never high on her. But last night, I'm finally going to give her some fucking respect and some daps, because that was the best I've ever seen her. And that's easy to do. It's easier, I should say, to do when you're in there with such a great talent like Charlotte. But you still have to pull your own weight. And I think Sonya did that last night. Charlotte was on her game. And who would have thought a Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville match I actually liked. And at the end of this match, I loved this. This was the figure 8 leg lock. Sonya Deville's tapping out ferociously. Charlotte obviously wins this match. But it's when Charlotte here's the tap, referee calls for the bell. Charlotte lets go, rolls over, and you see her go, yes! She was so excited to beat Sonya Deville. This is a multi-time champion. She's already going to be a Hall of Famer. If she retired tomorrow, she's a Hall of Famer. And she's so young into her career already. But you see the excitement in her, and the passion, and the fun, and the competitiveness. It's still real to her, damn it. And I love that, man. I always say that's what makes Charlotte and Sasha Banks so fucking great, is they wear their emotions on their sleeves. Or when they're in the ring, in their fucking tights, or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't say emotion in their tights. You get what I'm saying. They wear their emotions for the world to see. All right? That's what Charlotte and Sasha Banks do. And I love that, man. She rolls over the second she wins, and she just yells out a yes! Come on, bro. How is that not contagious? How do you not feel that? That she literally wants to go out there and be the fucking best. And you could say in a predetermined world that she still goes out there and wants to be the very fucking best. Remind you of somebody else? Yeah, Sasha Banks before she became Bayley's bitch. Before she became one part of the lesbian connection. That used to be the boss. It's great to see Charlotte still having that fun in there and that excitement. And still, even predetermined or not, man, she rolls over, yes! You know, she's fucking selling that from the time she goes through the curtain to come out to the arena to the time she goes back through the curtain to go backstage. She's giving you her all, and you get a sense that she's not faking it. That's who she is. It's all real to her. I love that. So she beats Sonya Deville. It's those little details, like I said, guys, those little details is what I watch for. That's what gets to the amplified man. That's what makes something epic, and to me, that's what can make something fail. Little details like that, and that's how I love to watch pro wrestling. That's how I fucking love to watch pro wrestling, man, those little details. Not just those huge, obvious, epic moments. Maybe the not-so-obvious little moments or the little details. So Charlotte's going to the back. She's clapping hands with everybody. And all of a sudden, somebody grabs her fucking hair and tucks her down. Jumps the barricade and starts a beat down. It's Becky fucking Lynch. Beautifully done here, man. Creative got creative. I don't know if this was like an idea from Becky, or did a creative writer just go, hey, let's do something cool with Becky. If we're going to have an attack, let's do it in a fun way, man. Becky Lynch, she caught me off guard. My focus was on Charlotte. She walked right by. Beck came up, grabbed the hair. You kind of knew after she got tugged down, it's fucking Becky Lynch, or you just really do have an insane fan. But you kind of knew it was Becky Lynch, right? And she is the fucking insane Becky Lynch at this point. She's crazy Becky, man. She's bitter Becky. She's pissed off Becky. This is the best Becky we've seen ever. This is the Becky we know and we fucking like now, right? But you kind of how can you not feel for Charlotte, though, too? You know what I mean? Like, this point, she was so excited. She got this victory. She's going up, and Becky Lynch just fucking beats the shit out of her. Disarm her right there in the aisleway. So Becky Lynch looking fucking strong. Becky Lynch is backpedaling up the rampway or up the fucking aisle, and she's talking some shit, but she's got this look like, that's just a taste, motherfucker. That's just a taste. Hell in a Cell, I'm taking your fucking strap, too. Tonight, I took your dignity and your pride and your joy from winning your match. Sunday, I'm taking your fucking strap. So that was just a great segment all in all. Again, I enjoyed the Charlotte and Sonya Deville match. I love the emotion from Charlotte after the victory. And I love the creativity in Becky Lynch being in the audience and attacking Charlotte. Disarm her. Charlotte's down and out in the aisleway. So that's how you end hour number 1, and so far, SmackDown is leaps and bounds better than Monday Night Raw. Could hour number 2 keep pace at least? Let's talk about it. So for hour number 2, we kick off with The Bar taking on Rusev Day. The winner of this match goes on to take on the New Day at Hell in a Cell for the tag straps. Now, before this match even started, you had Kofi Kingston backstage in his interviewer role. What the fuck does he even go by, guys? I totally fucking... Kramer Kingsman, I believe? Kramer Kingsman is backstage, and behind him is The Bar getting ready for their match. Kingsman is trying to pretend like he's fucking trying to stay off to the side, not to be seen. And he's basically like whispering to the camera, like, behind me is The Bar in their natural habitat. And he starts going off on this promo. I love this shit, man. This was the comedic shit that we needed from R-Truth, but R-Truth was actually in a match last night. I'll get to that in a minute. So we got that comedic relief from Kramer Kingsman, Kofi Kingston. And then the actual match, it was The Bar versus Rusev Day. As I said, the New Day is on commentary. I love that shit. They have their own commentary booth set up. Their pancakes. This time, Big E has his own huge bowl of pancake batter and mix. He's cracking eggs. He's making his own fucking pancakes over there. I fucking love when New Day is on commentary. It definitely brings a lot of fun to the match because Lord knows the fucking Rusev Day and The Bar, they didn't really bring a lot of excitement last night. The match was okay. It was decent at times. I cannot think of one point where the match was actually good. If you did find a point where it was, that's awesome for you. For me, I just think these 4 individuals, it's not a big fucking... It's not an exciting matchup for me. And from opening bell to end bell, it just wasn't a lot of fun for me outside of the New Day. So luckily, the New Day on commentary and Kofi backstage cutting a funny promo. Luckily, that brought some entertainment for me. The match, again, it was decent. It's not like it was bad. It just wasn't good for me. Not for a finals of this tournament, and the winner goes on to take on New Day. I hope for a lot more, but again, for me, when I look at these 4 individuals together, it's not the right mix or combo. And can I just say, Aiden English, man, the fuck are you still doing keeping him with Rusev? It is clear Rusev Day is nowhere near what it used to be. It's dead. You still get some Rusev Day chants, okay, but it's dead. You guys know it, I know it. It wasn't just from that dead crowd last night. For over a month now, nearly 2 months, Rusev Day has been obsolete. There's no more reason to keep Aiden English, who gets 0 response, and he even gets more cringeworthy on the microphone by the fucking day. Singing, and then first he does opera, and then that doesn't work. So then he starts rapping for a few months, and then that doesn't work. So now he's like singing his rap. That clearly didn't work last night. Maybe this is all for New Day to win at Hell in a Cell, and finally Aiden English turns on Rusev. Or maybe Rusev wakes up and turns on fucking Aiden English. The worst thing that we could see here is Aiden English and Rusev actually pick up tag team championships. Please. Then I'm stuck listening to Aiden English for the next who knows how long. Aiden English and Rusev pick up the victory. Very simplistic. A Machka kick. That was it. One Machka kick. Rusev gets a pin. Rusev is like, what? Shit, okay. Rusev and Aiden English are now going to go on to take on New Day at Hell in a Cell. All right. It's good to see Rusev get these spots, but not like this, man. Aiden English and a tag team. Rusev, by now, if booked correctly, should have been a singles champion. And if booked really correctly, he could have been a heavyweight champion at some point. Not just 1 or 2 month title reign, not a fucking hot potato type title reign. No, I'm talking 6 months plus if you booked him correctly. But if not a heavyweight championship, there's no reason he shouldn't have been an IC strap holder on Raw, the United States champion over on fucking SmackDown. And yes, I know he's had the United States championship, shit like that before, but they never gave him the push. And that's what I mean about booking someone correctly. That's what made him a hot potato champion back in the day, and what could make him an epic champion now if you booked him correctly. Booking him with Aiden English and then everybody going, well, BC, you wanted him to be pushed. He's going for tag team championships. That's about as good as Sasha Banks. Me saying I want Sasha to be pushed like she should be, and everybody going, well, BC, she's with Bayley. Maybe they'll get tag team straps down the line. Yes. That's what I meant about Sasha being pushed. Put her in a tag team with Bayley and stuff her in obscurity, even with the championships. Same thing with Rusev. The fuck you gonna do with Aiden English, even if they win the championships? Where do you think they're going, guys? You think if they win at Hell in a Cell and get the straps, you think Rusev is gonna be anything fucking epic? Look when he was at his height of popularity with Rusev Day. Vince fucking took the shovel to him. This is Vince not knowing who the fuck to put in that position, to be honest with you. I fully believe the Bludgeon Brothers were supposed to somehow finagle their way into Hell in a Cell, because that makes sense. They're the Bludgeon Brothers. You have this Halloween event, and I think with the injury to Eric Rowan, they fucking panicked, and here you have fucking Rusev and Aiden English in there somehow. At the lowest point of their popularity. So, again, not bad. I know it seems like I'm being over the top negative on this, but the fucking... Who is it again, man? I keep forgetting this guy's motherfucking name. Kramer Kingsman. That promo alone before the match, for me, the match could do no wrong. I was already laughing hysterically at that. Then New Day's over on commentary. You have decent action in the ring. I'm okay with the shit. I'm mind-boggled that Aiden English and Rusev are still a thing. I was mind-boggled when they were a thing and they were popular. I didn't want them together. Now that they're not popular anymore, I definitely don't want them together. But that's how Hour 2 started. You finally have the challengers for New Day's tag straps at Hell in a Cell, and it is Rusev and Aiden English. Next matchup was fun for me, man. R-Truth, Andrade, Cien, Almas. That's a fun fucking match. Now, we didn't see the best of these two, but not to worry. Something tells me this feud is going to drag out a little more, and that's good for this reason. These are two good athletes that I think can mix it up well together. Andrade versus R-Truth. If you give them 15 minutes even, they'll tear it down. Will Vince McMahon honestly give R-Truth 15 minutes? On TV or at a pay-per-view, I doubt it. But if he does, if something can happen where they give them 15 minutes, you're going to get something special out of R-Truth and Andrade Cien Almas. You saw about 5 minutes last night, and even that was fun. But they can do a hell of a lot more, man. R-Truth comes down to the ring with Carmella, so just like that, Carmella is a face. If you blink, you would have missed her face turn. Carmella is a face out of nowhere. She was just this huge, villainous diva that everyone hated. And now Vince is like, let's turn her face. And it semi-worked, right? Any other way I think she turns face, everyone's not going to be on board with it. But because people actually genuinely like R-Truth, I think it's working right now. They put her with the right guy. It might also be hindering R-Truth. R-Truth might get more cheers if not for Carmella. You could look at it that way. But in some weird way, I like this R-Truth Carmella unit. I just want to see a little bit more on the mic between them. And I'm not talking about their "what's up" at the beginning of the match and singing. More backstage between the two, but also make them a viable threat in the ring. That would be really cool. I think this is a cool I think this is a good and cool feud for Andrade Cien Almas. You know, he's still young in his main roster career for the WWE. I think he was booked horribly thus far. They threw him in there with all the big sharks and they made him tap out. I've seen him tap out to Rusev. I've seen him tap out to fucking Daniel Bryan. I've seen him tap out to AJ Styles. And you could say, BC, at least they're putting him in there. Yeah, but I don't want to see him in there if he's just going to tap out like a bitch. And a lot of those tap outs, he was doing it quickly. Looking embarrassing. I'd rather see him build feuds with some of the mid-card talent if that's the case. So as much as I want to see a lot out of R-Truth, I do want to see him get a push down the line. I think this is a good feud for both R-Truth and Andrade Cien Almas, but it's also a good feud for Andrade to win this feud. I think R-Truth has to go down when it's all said and done. I think this is a feud that Andrade needs more than anything right now. R-Truth is 46 years old, guys. You don't realize it, right? Still looks young, still can fucking wrestle like he's 26. I understand, but he's 46. He's been around the last fucking 15 to 20 years. He ain't going anywhere the next 15 to 20. Andrade, I think, needs this one when it's all said and done, wherever this culminates, probably in Melbourne, Australia, for the Super Show. And then R-Truth, I don't want to see R-Truth just go into obscurity after this, though. I want him to keep some momentum, man. And then who knows? Maybe get R-Truth winning some feuds. I don't know about throwing him a championship. Maybe. 46 years old, been there for 15 fucking years. If anyone deserves it, it would be Truth. But I think Vince is so... I mean, there's so much talent that you could say should be champion or should get a championship, that R-Truth is just one spoke on the wheel. There's a lot of people that deserve. But R-Truth, man. Well, I shouldn't say that. I just said there's a lot of people that deserve it, man. I hate that fucking word. But there is a lot of people that do deserve it. There's just more people that don't deserve it. And a lot of WWE fans always like to say everybody deserves it. Mind-boggling to me. The Bellas just came back, and I'm sure there's Bella fans that are already saying they deserve championships right now. They're back. But anyway, my point is this. The R-Truth versus Andrade match, as short as it was, I liked it, man. I liked the chemistry with R-Truth and Carmella. We'll see where it goes. Maybe in 2 weeks I'm fucking sickened by it and nauseous by it. But I like the R-Truth, Andrade Cien Almas mixture there. And by the way, what happened in this is Zelina Vega got in the ring somehow, and Carmella grabbed Zelina and whipped her out of the ring. This was a little bit of a distraction for R-Truth, though, because Andrade was able to roll up R-Truth. 1, 2, 3. Andrade Cien Almas wins the match. Again, like I said, less than 5 minutes, and R-Truth looked puzzled. And it looks like there's more between Zelina and Carmella. I just feel there's more between R-Truth and Andrade to come, and I'm on board with this. If they do it correctly, I'm fully on board. The second hour went right into the main event after that. Now, on paper, I'm going ballistic. This is fucking Brie Bella versus Maryse as your main event to your go-home show to SmackDown. On paper, I can't fathom who would have made this decision. Vince, the creative team, every motherfucker in that boardroom that thought this was a good idea. Befuddling to me. But then they actually put on the fucking show. They did the segment, 2 segments I believe they gave to this. I believe there was a commercial break in there. And it was fucking awesome, man. This segment, these segments, this main event went off flawless. Not a lot of wrestling between Brie and Maryse. Obviously, did you expect anything else? Would you want anything else? Would you actually want Brie and Maryse to do a 15-minute match? Probably not. But this was fun. This was entertaining, man. And this actually, here's a concept, it actually built to Hell in a Cell. 3 birds with 1 stone. It was fun, it was entertaining, and it built to Hell in a Cell. Brie Bella takes on Maryse. Maryse, for the first couple of minutes, wants nothing to do with Brie. She keeps on running out of the ring. You could tell she's fucking... She's fired up and she's pissed, but she doesn't want to get in there to fight Brie. Brie gets on the mic, calls on the microphone, not Mike the Miz. Brie did not get on Mike the Miz because Daniel Bryan would be like, what the fuck? Why are you on the Miz? But Brie gets on the microphone and calls Maryse a coward, which is the same thing Daniel Bryan has been calling the Miz. So that was awesome. This made the Miz's expressions last night and his mannerisms, Maryse's as well, were just on point. This is what makes Miz and Maryse the it couple in WWE for sure, man. Their mannerisms, their facial expressions, I love these two. I really do. And the Miz is just, when Brie called Maryse a coward, the Miz is just like, what did you, how the fudge, what? And fucking Marie's like, that's right. I said, Miz gets on the microphone and he starts cutting a promo on Brie Bella and saying that, you know what? Maryse is 5 months past having a kid. 5 months ago. And Maryse is in great fucking shape for 5 months. And Miz is like, you don't even deserve a match with Maryse. In fact, you know what? We'll see you at Hell in a Cell, because this match tonight, your little main event, it's not happening. Goodbye. Miz and Maryse go to head up the rampway, and Daniel Bryan whispers to Brie Bella something, and Brie Bella's like, yeah. Brie Bella hightails up the rampway, grabs Maryse, drags her back to ringside. The Miz ends up coming back. There was a moment where Brie Bella, I believe she was going to pin Maryse, maybe. Or maybe Brie Bella actually had her yes lock on. Her yes lock. Daniel Bryan's yes lock, but you get the point. But pinfall or there was a submission, but Miz dragged Brie Bella out of the ring. The ferociousness in Daniel Bryan when he came flying in throwing bows at Miz was so believable. It was so realistic. It was like somebody just laid hands on my wife in front of me. You motherfucker, you're gonna pay now. That's what Daniel Bryan came. Daniel Bryan came in like a fucking hot tamale, baby, and he was throwing those bows at the Miz's dome piece. Beautifully done. Again, it was so realistic, so believable. I love this. And this brought Brie Bella onto Maryse. Somehow Maryse and the Miz were able to get the upper hand, though. What was it? Did the Miz fucking take out? No, that's what it was. This was fucking pretty epically done. So Brie Bella's still on the outside. Daniel Bryan gets the Miz back inside. Somehow Daniel Bryan is able to throw... The Miz is able to throw Daniel Bryan to the outside, or Daniel Bryan misjudged a move, something. Daniel Bryan goes flying over the top rope. He lands right on Brie Bella. Clear as day, knocks out Brie Bella. Daniel Bryan's attending to Brie Bella. The Miz gets the upper hand now on Daniel Bryan. So now, the Miz and Maryse now have the upper hand on Brie and Daniel, but only for a moment. Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan are able to one-up the Miz and Maryse. Now they have the upper hand. You got the fucking yes kicks going. The crowd's going fucking ballistic for the first time all night. Miz and Maryse are retreating up the rampway. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are celebrating. Woo! That was a fucking mouthful. There was so much going on there that it was very easy for any one of them to miss their cue or botch their moment. Brie did a fucking awesome job not fucking up once in that whole fucking entire main event segment. Daniel Bryan obviously hit all his marks. Miz and Maryse were fucking brilliant in everything that they did last night. This went from, on paper, making me go ballistic, Brie versus Maryse on a go-home show to Hell in a Cell, to absolutely fucking brilliant. It was beautifully done. From the moment the fucking bell rang to the moment we faded to black on SmackDown and it went off the air, I was entertained, and it was actually fun. And it makes you give a shit about their mixed tag match at Hell in a Cell. That's all I ever ask for on a go-home show. Make me more interested in the match that's going to be at the pay-per-view when you're just nights away. That's what a go-home show is all about. Don't just show me video packages on what happened weeks before. Don't just have a little jumping segment. Don't just have a little combat segment. Give me a reason to give a shit. Make it really fucking epic. To the point where we have to say, shit, that's going to be one of the marquee matches. I should really be saying that about all the matches on the pay-per-view. I want to see that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. That one's okay. That one I'm not too into, but I want to see that one and that one. That's a Dynamite card. We shouldn't have to look at a card and go, nah, man. Maybe that one should be all right at least. That one I think could be good. I don't know. I guess that's it. I mean, a couple matches are decent. I guess. That's what we do at pay-per-views now, right? That's sad. Pay-per-views back in the day, you were looking forward to every fucking match. There was only one mulligan match, maybe two at a time, on a card. Make it epic. You're a conglomerate billionaire fucking company. You have creative writers. Doesn't look like they're getting creative at all. It honestly looks like you have Nicholas and Braun 10-year-old Braun Strowman, because that's what Braun is. Give him his lunchbox, open it up, and with his fucking tomato soup and his tuna sandwich and his little cookies and his little juice box is a little sheet of paper with some crayons. And him and Nicholas write the whole fucking shows. Every SmackDown, every Raw, every pay-per-view, they write out the whole entire match card. And they write out the segments, and they write out the storylines. And they hand it to Vince, and Vince is like, fuck, I like it. And even if I didn't like it, I'm too busy with the XFL anyway. So whatever Nicholas and Braun wrote, that's what we're gonna go with. That's what it looks like. It looks like Nicholas and fucking Braun just write these fucking shows. Get creative. It's all I ask for. Some people want to call it negative. No, it's wanting more, expecting more, because we not only deserve more, but they, the company, can actually do better. They can do more. They choose not to. They choose to go the easy way out. That's not acceptable for the Amplified Man. That's not how I live my life. Every little thing I do, no matter what the job is, no matter what the task is, no matter what I'm doing, I have to do it full throttle, Amplified style. I have to be the very best. I have to give it my all. Every Monday night should not just be another Raw for Vince. Every Tuesday should not be another SmackDown. It should be the Raw. It should be the SmackDown. This should be the Hell in a Cell. And next year, you top it. And the following year, you top it. Last night, man, coming from Monday night, dude, I fucking liked that shit. I won't say loved it, right? Could have been a lot more epic. It could have been more than just Brie and Daniel Bryan and Miz and Maryse getting built really good. But I also liked AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and how they built that. Hardy and Orton for their Hell in a Cell. I don't like the way that was built this week anyway. The last couple weeks, I don't like the way that's been being built. But we know that in the ring, in that cell, I should say, something epic is going to happen. So that's really what's selling that, let's be honest. And for the past couple of months, Orton and Hardy have been a hot feud. So I guess that's the place you want to have this thing end once and for all inside of the fucking cell. But easily for me, and obviously, by the way, Becky Lynch and Charlotte, I definitely like the way that they progressed that as well. So the matches that SmackDown are putting on for Hell in a Cell, last night, they did good for the most part. They sold it better. They made me give a shit a little bit more. That's all I ask. That's what Raw failed to do from top to bottom, start to finish Monday night. SmackDown did so much better last night. Not just from Raw, but SmackDown put together a fun, entertaining show. Could it have been more fun? Could it have been more entertaining? Absolutely. Could it have been fucking tragic as fuck? Absolutely. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm taking that SmackDown after what we saw at Raw, and I'm running with that fucking ball all the way to Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell should be good, guys. I really do feel that. No matter the build for it, I think Hell in a Cell, everyone's going to go out there, all the superstars, and really put on their A game. I think the show is going to really deliver. I'm hoping so anyway. We'll all find out. Big week for the channel, obviously, because it is a pay-per-view week. Tomorrow we have Amplified Q&A. I will be talking about that Evolution leaked match card, and I'll be taking some of your guys' questions as well. Friday, we're going to do Amplified Booking, the preview show of Hell in a Cell. And maybe even a bonus video later this weekend before Hell in a Cell as well. So a lot of great videos coming up later this week. For now, coffees and ass whippings, you know that, man. I gotta hit fucking Starbucks. I got a double fist today, man, because we gotta fucking fire on all cylinders today, baby. We just getting started. It's so early on this Wednesday morning. But we're gonna fuck shit up, baby. Amplified style. Amplified style. Amplified style. Hopefully you guys kick ass as well, all right? I'll see you guys tomorrow for Amp Q&A. For now, check you later!